Problem-based learning is really helpful for a subject like physics because the content flips usually have questions and videos that helps us learn the content, and also the questions help us solidify our knowledge. And for the problem-based learning, the problem statements are really interesting, so it helps us engage with the content better. And then when we present that after the next lesson, we can solidify our knowledge by looking at other people's presentations as well as our own.
With that, we also have mathematics. We get videos given to us. So with the benefit of videos, we get to stop, pause, and go over anything that we have an issue of. And the fact that we learn everything at home gives us the opportunity to rectify any problems we have at school during our class time. And we also get an opportunity to communicate with others and learn where we made mistakes.
So something that we think that works well in a subject is PDHPE. We think that it has good structure, so every double lesson we're always working on the period and the lesson after we're presenting. That 50-minute class we know we're coming to class, we know we have to show the pre-content before we get our problem released.
Yeah, and I think that with PDH it's always consistent, so we're always starting the problem on one period. Say for example, I think it's a Monday. We have the content flip and we're going through that, but on the Wednesday when we have our double period, we're always working on the problem with our group and solving the problem. And I think that consistency works really well because it creates flow throughout the subject, and it allows us to interact with our teachers and our fellow peers and basically understand the content a lot more.
Yeah, and we also have projects that are related to things that are going on with today's society, so they also really help engage us. Because it's not so much an effort to learn them, it's just things that we want to learn rather than have to. And even with their content flip, so they have a website with all our information that's given to us. We get given booklets that we just fill out, and the questions are very specific, and there's not too many of them either.
We have a 50-minute period at the start of the fortnight. Just before that period, we watch a series of videos demonstrating and applying the knowledge that we have to learn for that module. And coming on the 50-minute period, the teacher will consolidate any of the knowledge that we may not be familiar with, that we may need help with. And I think the 2 periods after, we have a double period in which we're presented with a problem. And in this, we're able to use our knowledge that we've learned a week earlier and consolidate this knowledge and apply it to a real-life scenario.
It's also the same with chemistry, as with such a strong flipped classroom at the beginning of the problem, we're able to understand more and therefore be more prepared for the next lessons where we have usually practicals, and then release the problem and then present the actual final answer to the problem.
So for the first steps of biology, and biology is a very content-heavy subject. It has the most dot points of the HSC syllabus, so everything has to be structured in one way or the other. And the structure follows the part of our content release flip, which is basically the dot points that we do for the HSC is for homework. We come in class already having the knowledge on those dot points, and then we sit an in-class basically response to our teachers. The teachers give us a problem to solve with relation to those syllabus dot points. And through those syllabus dot points, we're in groups of probably 4 or 5, and we solve those syllabus dot points and the problem related to those syllabus dot points in probably say a period or 2, which is 200 minutes. We go home, work on that as well, then we come back into class, and with the knowledge we already have and a presentation that we've created with our 4 or 5 group members, we present that problem, and after we present that problem, we have a little discussion at the end of it with our teachers as well in the whole class, and describing what we've done and basically explaining what we will do for next lesson.
Yeah, so for physics, it's a very complex subject. We tackle some pretty hard ideas to cover. So to enable us to engage with the subject properly, we take the content flip first. We do that at home. We engage with the basic fundamentals of that concept. Then we come back into class the next lesson, and we'll engage with that same content but through a practical. And that enables us to investigate and really quantify that evidence that we gathered the night before or a few nights earlier. And then in doing that, we can carry that over into our problem and take that information and experience into our problem to make them more engaging and a little bit different to everyone else's. But it's very important that that problem links to the work that we did in class, because otherwise they'll become very incoherent and they won't work. And then we won't be able to learn off each other. and also sometimes the problems are actually surrounding a prac and the prac isn't exactly complete, and it's our job to complete it and to discuss the implications of that. And then, as with every other subject, we discuss our final results with the teacher as a class to make sure that what we've presented and what we understand from that topic is actually equivalent to what we need to know for exams and for future in Year 12.
In ancient history, this structure works particularly well because there is a lot of content that we need to get through in each problem and each situation. So by giving time earlier to be able to undergo in learning just the basis of our situation is a good way of for our personal knowledge and also for discussions.
There's a lot of content, and when you get to learn all of that content before you come into lessons, it gives you a bit of chance to show off your knowledge, especially when we have discussions in class. I know Sir's a great person that you can talk to because he's got a vast wealth of knowledge, and yeah, it's just good to get into discussion with like classmates and just to understand all the content together before jumping into the problem statement.